Well, good day, viewers. As you guys already know the vibes, it's Friday and we are back with another episode of In the Mix. I'm very excited for this one. First and foremost, Patricia has redeemed herself. Let's just put that out there. The menu looks divine. I want to start with the menu. I'm not going to talk about anything else first. But look at this, guys. Refreshing. We have a very, very refreshing meal today. We're going to leave it to our main man to just tell us what that meal is. And also to start off on the right note, it is International Pet Day. So we have brought our pet with us to studio. His name is Harry. He's just going to be sitting with us because we couldn't bring our other pets. Jesse can't bring any cows. I don't even know if he has dogs. But yeah, he can't bring any of his animals in studio today. So we have Harry to just keep us energized, to bring the vibes during the course of the day while we get ready for an amazing braai, and as well as talk about some sports, not just football, but boxing as well. And I have a very big announcement towards the end of the show. So you guys make sure to stay tuned as we will be making that announcement later on in the show. With me, you guys know the vibes. My right-hand man is always with me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, the man, the myth, the legend. Jesse, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, Brian. It's good that you mentioned what's on the table here today. The sandwich.
Yes.
Ice cream sandwich.
I think this is the first time on the show that you get something correct, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, I tasted it and it went at the back of my mind, you know. But Brian, behind the scenes, you said that was a dog. It's a bear. It's a teddy bear.
So before we introduce our guest, Jesse, what are your thoughts on Patricia and what she's prepared for us for today?
Guess what, Brian? My favorite is on the menu today. Something she will announce there, definitely, but I'm sure many know. But we're not alone today. There's a big event coming, a boxing event coming. Although this is a football show, we always have to mix it up as well. And this man, that is Tauno Peyomufa, also supports football. He's a Choke Chula Chula fan and as well as a Chelsea fan. Welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are going to dive right into the stuff later on in terms of what we expect for the weekend. But I'm sure it's nice. Do you like what you're seeing there?
I think it looks delicious, but I'll dig in later.
All right, you'll dig in later.
So the man will dig in later. Like Jesse said, it is a football show, but at the end of the day, the show's name is In the Mix. So we like to mix it up, talk about all sorts of sports, and boxing is big this weekend. Football is also big this weekend. But viewers, stay tuned as we'll be going for a short break and we'll be breaking down all the sports happening this weekend right after this. Okay, so I just had the taste of the sandwich, the ice cream sandwich, and wow, very nice. Jesse, let's put you on the spot. What do you think is in here? What do you think the chocolate part is made from? Like,
oh. Right. What chocolate part? This part?
No, yes, that part. What is it made from? What do you feel like? What do you
Bread.
taste there? Huh?
Bread.
Okay.
This is
We leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. Let's have a look. You know, before we do talk about the boxing happening this weekend, there's a lot of football games happening this weekend. So let's have a look at the fixtures that are scheduled to take place on Saturday and Sunday. Jesse Jackson, can you please just run us through those and which matches you think viewers should be excited about this weekend?
Well, if we look at tonight, we have that is Tigers and Mighty Gunners FC at the Independence Stadium. Then Julinho Athletics versus Commerce Nampol FC. That is in Rundu. FC Ongozo Kahanja United FC Windhoek. KK Palace Blue Boys. Shakati Stadium, Bucks Buccaneers, Young African, and that's an interesting one where we have Ronnie Kanalelo obviously returning to football and returning to coaching. He will be leading the charges there against a determined and unbeaten Young African FC team at the Independence Stadium. Kuka tops one of the strugglers of this season also. At the bottom half of the table will play Young Brazilians FC. They will be hosting that team from the south there. UNAM FC and African Stars. That is always a good match to watch. Quite a number of talent in it. And then a Shoke Chula Chula versus Blue Waters. That is another derby of its own. Although that Blue Waters come from the coast, we know that Eshoke Chula Chula and Blue Waters share a common tradition in terms of fans and the ethnicity of the club itself. And if we look at Sunday, I think the standout fixture there will be between, that is Bucks Buccaneers and African Stars. That match, Ronnie Kanalelo will be playing against his former club there, where he managed to win the league with. It is a big one. We know that Bucks Buccaneers lingering at the bottom of the table. They need to come up and they need to show African Stars that it is indeed a big one. And we know that African Stars also recently appointed a coach. So it's a new coach, new environment against the guy that has been there, that knows these boys very well. So it is indeed poised to be a very good match.
Ooh, I think that's one of the most exciting matches that we do have this coming weekend. Well, Tauno, before we get to the boxing, before we get to the big boxing event that you guys have scheduled for Saturday, I know it kicks off at 3. Looking at the games that we do have this weekend, how excited are you to see Chula Chula in action?
I'm happy, even though I won't be able to attend, because given that it's in Oshakati and we have an event also on Saturday, so I think I'll just check the final result. Yeah, but I think Blue Water, they are not really much of a threat.
So you think your team can come through with a win?
You're going to win this one.
Okay, hopefully Shoke Chula Chula come through with the win. But okay, speaking of our boxing event schedule for the weekend, just give the viewers more details as to what we can expect. I know you guys are starting at 3. You guys have about 15 bouts that are scheduled for Saturday. So just give us more information on what we can expect.
We have 2 cards.
Okay.
One starting at 1500 hours, which is 3 in the afternoon, which consists of 10 bouts.
Okay.
And the other card consists of 8 bouts, including the 3 main bouts where they are belt.
Okay.
With WBO belt. So the nation is expected to be there by 3, or maybe let's say before 3, and they must get their tickets. Thomas Shangula is walking around with tickets. So like we said before, it's for free. You just have to get the tag, then you go in. So only the tables that are going for $20,000, which is mostly for corporate. So we have a fully packed card for the night.
Okay, now speaking of the card that's scheduled for the night on Saturday, how's organizing going? Is everything in plan? Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, everything is going well so far. That's kind of too much pressure, but we are managing.
That's managing. Okay, I think that's what we want to hear as the fans. And as you guys heard from the man himself, it's free. If you guys want to make your way there to the showgrounds, watch some boxing, you guys make your way. All you need to do is
get yourself a ticket. I think some they'll be given on radio stations.
Okay.
Like Radio Energy, Future Media radios. So Thomas Shangula is also giving away tickets. So just get your ticket, be there, and watch exciting boxing.
Exciting boxing. Like he said, we also have 3 of the bouts will be for titles. So you guys will be seeing Energy in action. You'll be seeing John in action. And Heita is also in action. So we are very excited for those fights. We'll be talking more about that. But for now, we'll be going for a short break. And then we'll see if Patricia is dishing up the same energy this side on the other side.
Adventure doesn't announce itself. It starts with a feeling. It waits quietly, ready for those who seek it. From the moment you start, the journey becomes part of the story. It's not just about the destination. It's the rhythm of the road, the pull of the unknown. Some journeys take you beyond what's visible, toward the promise of something greater. And then it appears. The reason you came. The reason you'll return. The jet tour dashing. Drive your future.
Life is about the journeys we take, the roads we choose, and the adventures that shape us. Designed for those who seek more. More space, more adventure, more style. With cutting-edge technology and unparalleled comfort, every drive is an adventure waiting to happen. Choose adventure. Choose the jet tour dashing. The new jet tour dashing. Drive your future.
Welcome viewers to my Braai Corner, and here we have Absalom in the kitchen, and I was given the great pleasure of calling him on his nickname, which is AB. So welcome to the Braai Corner, AB.
Thank you so much.
How are
for
you
having
feeling
me.
today?
I'm feeling great. It's a bit unusual for me to be in the kitchen. It's actually my first time having an apron on.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay, well, in the mix is for experimenting and first times, so we're going to dive right into it. So on the menu today, we saw that Brian and JC and our guest on the other side are enjoying the ice cream sandwiches, which I'm really happy for. But last week, after seeing JC and hearing his complaints, I thought let's bring a little bit of meat back into the show, just to make JC a bit more happier, you know. So we're going to be braaiing a grilled gourmet braai sandwich. So there's many ways you can do this, but we're going to do it the in the mix way with a lot of different meats on it. So this is the in the mix version of a braai sandwich, and you are going to help me. But you know, our guest on the other side is here to promote the boxing, you here as well. So can you just tell me and the viewers what exactly is your role in this event that's taking place this weekend?
All right, so firstly, like you mentioned earlier, my name is Absalom Shihepo, and I'm the operational manager at the MTC Sunshine Boxing and Fitness Academy. I'm also the ring announcer at the event. So my role here is as a sports administrator, in particular boxing. So we work out the logistics of the fight, where it should happen, who's to feature on the card, who's supposed to be there, look for sponsors to get on board. Boxing is a very expensive exercise. And it's not just about having two people in the ring, it's about record, rating, and championship. Because you cannot just choose to say you are doing boxing and just do it for fun.
Yeah.
It has to be about
that
record,
makes sense.
rating, and championship.
Okay, so I need to know, while we're chopping, I want to give you the tomatoes to chop. So we just want rings, so you don't have to cut them into pieces, just nice thin slices. You can chop about all three of them, should be fine.
Okay.
You are a sports administrator, as you said, but have you ever attempted, you know, because you obviously understand boxing, otherwise you wouldn't be organizing this event, making sure everything is in place. As you said, there's a lot of elements that goes in with boxing as well. Have you ever tried the sport yourself?
Well, boxing itself, Maybe let's start with athletics. Maybe in primary school, I attempted to be, a sprinter. And
You were tempted to be a
Yes, I
sprinter.
remember I was at DS Primary School in the south, Luders, and I came last. I hardly talk about
They
it.
say last place is first
Yeah,
place
but I
from
think
the
it
back.
was a Namdeb championship or something. I came last. From that day on, I never participated in athletics anymore.
You were like, it's not for me.
Yes, but then when I came to Windhoek for tertiary education, I attempted to now be a boxer and so on. But then I realized it cannot be done as a part-time job because you have to do it full-time. And I was at the university at the time, so I couldn't cope well with the
Okay,
two
yeah,
at
you
the
had
time.
to prioritize your studies now in that moment. No, that makes a lot of sense. So, if you had the chance, would you step back into boxing, try it out, or are you now fully just comfortable where you're at, like you're not moving?
Never. I wouldn't want to. Boxing is a very serious sport. For us, the audience that are in the arena, for example, you see we are enjoying, but what is actually happening in the ring there are two people hurting each other.
Yeah,
You see, it's just that it's the legal way of doing it.
the legal way of hurting
Yeah,
someone.
but it's a gentleman's sport. Even after the fight, they hug it out, and stuff like that. But I'm saying, two people hurting each other in the ring.
Yeah,
it's
anything
never
can
easy.
happen in the
True.
ring. It's a very serious sport. And I think a lot of people just assume that there's not much going into boxing. But like you said, it's a full-time job.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of chopping to do. And I'm sure Brian and them are dying to dive right into this event and all the sports happening this weekend. So while me and AB finish chopping up our onions and tomatoes, we still need to chop up our Russians, our braai vlees, and we already prepared the bacon as well. So everything is just ready and waiting to be stacked onto our bun so we can put it on the fire. So we are going back to Brian in just a second, but stick around and we'll be right back after this.
Your life could change at any second, but you'll never know until you take the chance. With sports betting, number games, and online casino gambling, JSB is your best bet. Will you be Namibia's next instant millionaire? Place your bets easily online at jsbsports.bet or at any JSB location nationwide. We'll take you to the action anywhere, anytime. JSB, where the next instant millionaires come to play. Strictly no under 18s. JSB supports responsible gambling. Winners know when to stop.
Well, Patricia, I'm looking forward to tasting that delicious meal you are preparing in the kitchen there.
Did you even
There
hear
is
what it is?
there
What
is beef, of course, and so whatever is beef for me, I'm fine with it. Yeah, but we will talk much about football later on. But I was at a press conference yesterday. That is of the MTC Nestor Sunshine Boxing and Fitness Academy fights that are scheduled to take place this Saturday. One of the biggest fights in the country and on the continent, as you can say, because there will be 3 continental fights on the cards there, definitely not to be missed. Nestor risking it all. But this fight is not just a fight, it also honors the late founding father of the Namibian nation, that is the late Sam Nujoma, and it will also be in honor of them. So let's hear from some footage from the boxing conference.
It means a lot to all Namibians because it always says that right from the beginning, he had a vision that Namibians can benefit from sport, especially boxing. And boxing can have major good reasons for Namibians. One, it helps young people with a talent in boxing to maximize their potential, and they can, a lot of Namibians, young men and women, can be empowered through sport. Secondly, boxing can put Namibia on the world map. So if we looked at the history of Namibia for the last 30 years, it demonstrated that Namibians has talent for boxing. And if we can harness that opportunity for many Namibians to participate in the boxing, it means Namibia will be in the world map. So Kenyans are known for long runners. Namibians are known for winning world boxing champions in the world. So what about if we invest our energy and time and support all the boxing academy in Namibia and make sure that the talent for boxing right from the young age, it's harnessed at the right time, and we put also a lot of investment into the boxing. So since I started being involved with Nestor Boxing Academy, I was asking them a lot of questions. And one of the things that I was asking him was, how much money is given to boxing? And I realized
You know what, Tauno, I'm looking forward to this one. There's a fight that has that has my interest there. It is Hater, the Beast, and against the guy from Cape Town, Abdul. We know that this guy had to go through a lot in life, a former gang member of the 28s and all that, but he is there boxing tomorrow night. What do you make of that fight, just shortly?
The fight between Eita and Kunet, I think this one's going to be the interesting one. They are both good fighters, given that Eita is undefeated and Kunet is having 16 fights, 12 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses and 1 draw, which is all impressive. And for it to be, for the fight to be sanctioned by WBO, there should be something good in there.
Should be an interesting one.
Interesting one. So, judging by yesterday's press, I saw Kunet telling Kama is going to be the new WBO champion. So I feel like this one is the much anticipated fight of the night.
Well, there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to look forward to in football as well. That is, African Stars will be in action as well against Bucks Buccaneers and Unam FC, and the new coaches being introduced as well. It is just something very big for the team, for the teams there, because we know that a gentleman from Lesotho is taking over, that is African Stars, a different environment, a different ball game. And then we have the magnet, Ronnie Kanalelo, who will also be there. So we do have a bit of footage that is from African Stars' first training with their new coach.
New chapter officially began at African Stars as newly appointed head coach Bob Mafoso took charge of his first training session with the team at the African Stars Training Center. The energy on the pitch was electric, the atmosphere charged with excitement, curiosity, and optimism as the players met their new leader for the first time in a working environment. Coach Mafoso, a CAFE licensed tactician with a decorated career in Lesotho's Premier League and international football, wasted no time in setting the tone. The session was intense, focused, and full of purpose. Known for his possession-based style of play, Mafoso spent much of the afternoon assessing the players' technical abilities, ball control, and positional awareness. His attention to detail was evident, and players were challenged to think quicker, move smarter, and play with precision. Speaking after the session, Coach Mafoso shared his first impressions.
I'd watched the team play on our platforms, and I'm happy with what I've seen. There was not much of a difference. It was just a new voice today. Otherwise, the quality is good, and the attitude was perfect. We just need to push. Of course, we are preparing for weekend. We said this is a team that is leading the log, and there isn't much to change. So I just had to train with them for the first time, just know their voices. They should know my voice, and that was just it.
While it was just day one, the players responded positively to the new structure and intensity. Senior squad members showed leadership, while younger players looked eager to learn and impress. The technical team also worked seamlessly alongside Mafoso, setting a professional tone that is sure to carry into the rest of the season. With the second half of the season fast approaching and continental ambitions on the horizon, Coach Mafoso's arrival signals a bold new direction for African Stars. His first session laid the foundation for a fresh, dynamic style of play, and from what we've seen so far, it's going to be an exciting journey ahead for the Samba boys and their passionate fans.
Okay, so first and foremost, that's African Stars and the head coach getting ready for the new season. I'm very excited for the new head coach, but we'll be talking more about the new head coach and his record after the break. But for now, we have Javon Wilson that will be joining us in studio, and we'll be talking about some bet slips that we'll be giving you guys over the weekend, and hopefully you guys can make some money, because that man was very close to making some money, but we'll be catching up with him right after this. Well, like I said, viewers, I'm joined by none other than Javon Wilson. Brother man, how you doing?
Great week, fantastic football, and we have a lot to look forward to.
A lot to look forward to, definitely. How did you feel about the Manchester Derby? It's my question.
Dull, boring, lethargic, mundane. How many other words can I use in the dictionary? I mean, it just sums up the two Manchester sides at the moment in poor form. Has been a very boring season for both sides. Hopefully United can still clinch a trophy, which is the Europa League, but we'll have to see.
We'll have to see how that goes. Well, okay, before we do dive into our session for today, your predictions were spot on. You just got the PSG game wrong. PSG, unfortunately, for you, beat Aston Villa comfortably. But yeah, just tell us, what were your thoughts on the first round of the Champions League knockout stages?
Look, like I said in the previous show, Arsenal took their inspiration from the ladies. Okay. The ladies beat Real Madrid ladies 3-0. Arsenal did exactly the same thing at the same stadium. And I just felt that their athleticism and the way that they play and pass the ball around is a bit more superior than what Real Madrid are at the moment this season. I mean, it's their fifth loss in the campaign, which is, for Real Madrid standards, it's quite shocking. Yeah. And I just feel like Arsenal will definitely perhaps go all the way through to the final, as I said before. In terms of the other matches, Barcelona, that was pretty straightforward. And then Inter Milan, the team that I like, would possibly also go to the final. I like them a lot. Lautaro, again, with an outstanding goal. And then, yeah, as you said, PSG getting the win there against Villa. They were just the boys, men against boys over there.
Yeah, look, I think you answered the question that I wanted to ask you now as to, does it change your mind as to who's going through now? Do you think Madrid that heritage thing can kick in and they can cause the surprise as they've done it before and before again. I mean, we saw it against Manchester City. So yeah, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, look, a lot of people are telling me that there's going to be a totally different game. I agree. But the longer Arsenal hold Real Madrid from scoring, especially scoring early, if Madrid don't score in the first 20-25 minutes and Arsenal can weather that storm, I think Arsenal are definitely going through. I don't see Real Madrid scoring 4-5 against a strong Arsenal defense. Okay. So I would still go with Arsenal going through in that match. Inter Milan against Bayern, Italy, they're going to Italy this time. I think Inter Milan are very solid at the back as well. They conceded a very poor goal by their standards. And yeah, the only team I would probably look at revoking is Aston Villa. I mean, they were just outplayed by the PSG side. It's the first time I watched PSG play like that. And I really feel like these guys they have a lot to offer still.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's just the thoughts of Javon speaking on the Champions League. So, guys, like I always tell you guys, make sure to take notes. You don't always have to take the same bets that we do, but you can use it as a blueprint and walk around it and create yourself something that's more suitable for you, if not safer. Starting off with the match of the week. It's a big one. It's not the Manchester derby, but this one is the German derby. We have FC Bayern Munich that are taking on Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, known in Germany as the Klassiker, the two most successful sides in Germany. Bayern Munich are 4 points clear of Leverkusen, 6 points, 6 points clear. So they need to perhaps extend that. If they mess up there against Dortmund, then it will be an interesting end towards the season with Leverkusen still having a game in hand. So yeah, that's about match of the week. All you need to do is predict the winning score, tag 3 friends, and make sure that you share that story on your profile, and then you can win your share in $1,000 in free bets.
$1,000 in free bets that you can do on Facebook or on Instagram. You go to the post, share your result 1121, tag 3 friends, and then if your prediction is correct, you win your share of $1,000 in free bets. Just like that, easy money. Let's start off with your bet slip. Fun fact, you didn't see how mine looks like, but we both have a 10-game bet slip. Mine is also 10 games, tenfold. So let's have a look at yours. Very interesting, very, very interesting. A lot of interesting games, but yeah, just run us through it.
A couple of games there, Friday night kickoffs, both teams to score. Valencia, Sevilla this evening. I think that's an open game. Both teams, Valencia just beat Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. So what confidence do they have going into that match then at home, especially at the Mestalla?
They should score.
Yeah. And then I have Atleti. I'm banking them this weekend. I think they should get the 3 points there. AC Milan also this evening against Udinese away. I would go with both teams as well there. Inter Milan tomorrow evening. I'd go with them to win. And then Juventus the same thing. There's a couple of other games there that I have both teams to score straight wins. Okay, but I haven't included any. I haven't included any Premier League games this weekend.
What's the catch with it? What's the story there?
No, hopefully we can just get some winning ways here.
Okay.
We haven't had them yet.
Okay, that's the first part of your bet slip. We still have the other part of the bet slip that we still have to look at and see how those games look like. I mean, the guy has 10 games carded without any Premier League games. That's a very interesting one. Total odds 56.78. $50 gets you 3,265. The rest of the games?
Yeah, Napoli at home. I mean, they're fighting for the title there with Inter. So they can't afford to slip up there. Leverkusen, as I said, they would want to get a result or hopefully get Dortmund to get a result there in Munich so that they can chase them, yeah. Both teams to score with Leipzig and Wolfsburg, both attacking sides. I think they can both get some goals there. As I said, Bayern Munich, Dortmund. That's our match of the week.
Yes.
I'll go definitely both teams to score.
Good odds.
Very good odds, yeah. And then finally, I'll go with Lens and Stade Reims also this evening, Friday night kickoff.
Ooh, I think I love the games. They look very interesting. The Bayern Munich, both teams to score game, I'm definitely backing that one. So let's have a look at mine. Like I said, I also have a tenfold. What a coincidence. But yeah, we didn't meet up to discuss this bets, but here's how mine looks. So I have Atletico Madrid beating Real Valladolid, like you said. Both teams to score in the AC Milan. AC Milan have this tendency of conceding a lot of goals. And then Inter Milan, I went for a straight win for Inter Milan. Good team. Napoli, the same. They are in the chase for the Champions League to win the Serie A. So I'm sure they won't want to take the foot off the gas right now. Bayer Leverkusen, they have to win if they want to catch up with Bayern Munich and retain the title. So I included them in there as well. And then if we have a look at my second slide, I have 83 odds, by the way.
Wow.
83 odds, by the way. So if we have a look at my second slide, you guys will see my second games of features. Like I said, Borussia Dortmund, I have to agree with you there. There's no, I wouldn't do it any other way. So I'm going with both teams to score. Aston Villa, I couldn't leave out. They're playing against relegated Southampton. While we still have 7 games left, I put them in there to win the game and to score more than 2 goals. And then we have Brighton. Leicester have been woeful. I'm sure Leicester is probably the second team that are getting relegated from the Premier League. I also included that game. Nottingham Forest, Javon. The odds look really good. And I don't think they will struggle against Everton, so I included them in as well with a straight win. And then my last game is in form Arsenal. I mean, they beat Real Madrid. The Premier League is most probably already decided, and it's Liverpool that are winning it. But I don't think Arsenal will lose against Brentford. I might remove that Arsenal game because they might rest players for the Real Madrid game. I was about to touch
on that. I think they might have to rest some players there.
They might rest players for the Real Madrid game, so I might remove that game. So that's how it looks like, 83, 86 odds. Walk around the blueprint, decide on your games, and then you see how it goes for you. And before we do leave you guys, we also have the Champions League. We always need Javon's magic touch on these games. That's how the aggregate looks like. Javon, tell us who's going through before we get to the final knockout stage.
Arsenal, Inter, PSG, Barca.
Boom. Simple and such. Very straightforward. Arsenal, Inter, PSG, and Barca. Well, viewers, there you guys have it. Like I said, we've shared the betting tips with you. Comment in the comment section below. Tell us if you agree with us or not. If you want to do something different, that's up to you. But from Javon Wilson and I, it is goodbye.
Your life could change at any second, but you'll never know until you take the chance. With sports betting, number games, and online casino gambling, JSB is your best bet. Will you be Namibia's next instant millionaire? Place your bets easily online at jsbsports.bet or at any JSB location nationwide. We'll take you to the action anywhere, anytime. JSB, where the next instant millionaires come to play. Strictly no under 18s. JSB supports responsible gambling. Winners know when to stop.
The Minister of Sports and Arts, Jacob Kilibeng, has assured members of the public that the Botswana Golden Grand Prix will take place this Saturday in Gaborone at the National Stadium. He was making this assurance against the backdrop, or rather following concerns and media reports that were suggesting that the event might actually be relocated to Francistown at a different stadium, at the Obed Itani Chilume Stadium. This was due to concerns about the stadium turf, that it might not be ready on time for the athletics event, that it might not be well prepared and conducive enough for, especially the track, that it might not be conducive enough for the athletics to participate on. However, the minister came out and said no, preparations are underway and that the show will go on in Gaborone as planned. Organizers were also fighting against not only time but against elements of the weather, because there have been persistent rains in Botswana, especially in Gaborone. The Department of Meteorological Services has actually issued a flood alert, because of the persistent rains that they might go on until at least the weekend, this coming weekend. And so there were those concerns that, because the rains had been disrupting preparations, that the stadium might not be ready on time for this major athletics event. However, organizers as well as the government and the Botswana National Sports Council are saying that no, by Friday the stadium will be ready and will be handed over to the agency or the organization that is handling the preparations. The minister also assured that all the relevant stakeholders will be working together and they will be working diligently to ensure that this event meets international standards as promised. You know, the Botswana Golden Grand Prix, or rather the Golden Grand Prix, which is being held in Botswana this year, is one of Africa's most premier athletics event, and it is set to attract or draw athletes from across the world, you know, world championships as well as the Olympics, and you know, they will be competing right alongside some of Botswana's finest talent. So the minister says the show will definitely go on as planned on Saturday in Gaborone at the National Stadium.
Life is about the journeys we take, the roads we choose, and the adventures that shape us. Designed for those who seek more. More space, more adventure, more style. With cutting-edge technology and unparalleled comfort, every drive is an adventure waiting to happen. Choose adventure. Choose the Jet Tour Dashing. The new Jet Tour Dashing. Drive your future.
As you guys can see, we are getting down and dirty. Our station looks a bit messy, but it's just because we wanted to perfect these sandwiches for you guys. How has your experience been? Because I saw you panicking just a little bit when you tried to compile the sandwich. How are you feeling about
It's
this?
a lot of concentration.
Like we said, we stuffed it with a lot because we want to make it really delicious and interesting. So we're going to put this on the fire. Oh, let's see if we can close it. Fingers crossed. And just open it there. Close it first. Okay, so we'll put that on the fire in just a second. Before we move over, we know that this boxing event happening, obviously you and your team put a lot of thought, time and effort into making it perfect this weekend. But thinking of the, looking into the effort put into this and the time, I don't know a lot about boxing. I've seen a few boxing matches on TV, never in person. So how did you guys come, for those of us who don't understand and has not been following the boxing scene in Namibia, just to put it into perspective, how do you choose or decide as to who are the boxers that will take part in this?
All right, I think for starters, I should mention that this event is a special event because it's a tribute to His Excellency, the founding father of the Namibian nation, His Excellency Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nujoma, who contributed immensely to boxing as well as to the liberation struggle for our country. So Sam Nujoma for us is an extra figure, or was an extra figure rather, because he was also the patron of the academy. So in terms of the work that we put in, we had to make sure that we look at the specialness of the event, because the event is paying homage to an icon and a man of size, a man of magnitude, for instance. So I'm trying to say that we had to make it extraordinary because we had to make sure we have 3 WBO Africa titles on the line. Headlining in the main bout there, we see Philippus Enejingi-Tumbwa, who's going to be battling it out against Hassan from Zimbabwe. That is now for the WBO Africa Super Bantamweight title. And then we will have Paulus John Jelanimus, who will be participating in the WBO Africa Super Middleweight against a boxer from South Africa, as well as Matthew Hayter for the WBO Africa Featherweight title as well. So in terms of now matchups, we see here that we have 2 cards, the one that is headlined by these titles and the undercards. We're trying to make sure that the event lives up to the expectations of the fans, because when everyone hears that the event is paying homage to the founding father, so obviously everyone wants to be there. We want to celebrate his legacy, his life, and his contributions, you understand, to the sport of boxing. Because up to, let's say, right now we have produced up to 3 world champions, and it's not an easy exercise, you see, especially when you're from Namibia, because we don't have TV right, you know, other countries have pay-per-view, but at least we managed to produce 3 world champions, which is a very big achievement. Because if you look at some of the African countries that are a bit older than ours, you understand, you will see that it's quite difficult to produce a world champion. But I do think that with the right investment, you know, because boxing itself has stages. You cannot just wake up and say you are fighting for the world championship. It's like a child, for example. You have to go through primary school, high school, and then off you go.
That you need to
Absolutely. And then that's how you are groomed now through those levels until you become mandatory, for instance, to participate in the world championship. So all I'm saying is we have to do the right investment in the sport. If we have more corporates coming on board, like MTC, of course, we are co-sponsored by PST Bet. So if we can have more of that, more investment made into the sport, we can groom these youngsters, and then we can have our own Muhammad Ali, we can have our own Mike Tyson, and which is what we are transitioning into now. Our country is transitioning into seeing things the traditional way of just having traditional jobs. We're looking at the innovative industry, such as boxing, and how it can contribute to the economy of our country, for example. When you hear a big name like Manny Pacquiao, everybody knows, oh, the Philippines, you understand? We can create our own here at home with the right investment.
Why not? There's so much potential in the sports scene in general as well. So much potential, and like you said, the right type of investment, financial investment, time, effort, really takes the sport and the athletes a very long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we need to get this on the fire.
Okay.
Because I know Jesse is probably, you know, his butt is burning on that side. Let's just fix our friend here, and then we can take this to the fire. Perfect. Okay. Shall you join me? Do you want to do the honors of putting this on the fire for us?
Okay, but just guide me though.
You
of
can
where to put it. It's
at
a
the
very
lower stage.
unusual setting for me. So here.
Yes, you just slide it in for us.
Okay.
And then the fire will do its job.
Okay, before I burn myself.
No, you'll be fine. So before we move over, because we are about to finish up, we're just waiting for our sandwiches to grill up nicely. You know, as you say, there are stages that you need to reach before you can say that you are now at that level to compete for a championship. Before we roll off here, what are some of the preparations these boxers need to go into, both mentally and physically, to make sure that when they're in the ring, they are fully prepared to take on whatever comes their way?
Well, boxing is a physical sport. You see, you have to be physically ready and mentally as well. So let's say this fight was announced or launched, let's say last month. So the boxers were informed prior that, so they had like even 4 months in advance to train.
To prepare, yeah.
So they prepare themselves physically, mentally, because you have to be in the fight mentally and physically.
Yes.
Otherwise you lose the fight just because, you know, there's what we call training camp. Let's say a young boxer like Matthew Sater, for example, you know, you isolate him, so you take them away from their family, from their girlfriend, and so on.
This is not the mental preparation
Yes.
of everything.
So
okay. Well, it seems like it's a lot is definitely put into preparation for both the athletes and the event. But AB, while we are waiting for our sandwiches to toast up nicely, viewers, if you want to try out this recipe at home, we have a chatbot there waiting for you to explore it. So just text #InTheMix to our chatbot number, which will be on the screen. If not, make sure the team knows what to do. And you can just go and see how to do this at home. But don't move a muscle. We are almost at the part where we get to taste our delicious dish.
Adventure doesn't announce itself. It starts with a feeling. It waits quietly, ready for those who seek it. From the moment you start, the journey becomes part of the story. It's not just about the destination. It's the rhythm of the road the pull of the unknown. Some journeys take you beyond what's visible, toward the promise of something greater. And then it appears. The reason you came. The reason you return. The jet tour dashing. Drive your future.
I think we can all agree that Patricia has outdone herself. I haven't tasted those gourmet sandwiches yet, but I can already feel that they are going to be great. I saw some acha going on there, some red onion, beef pieces, some bacon. Aish, Parata, today we're having a meal, ne?
My friend, I'm looking forward to. I already said I think my concentration today is a bit low in terms of everything else because I can't wait for that meal.
Can't wait for the meal.
But definitely we have to push forward to complete the show.
Okay, well, Tauno, you saw your colleague there doing the job in the kitchen. How do you feel? How do you think the meal is going to come out? Do you think it's going to make us happy? Do you trust him?
Given that I don't really see him much in the kitchen, I'm doubting. But,
yeah, doubting a little bit.
But since Patricia is involved, I feel like we're going to eat something.
You think we'll have something nice? Okay, cool. Then I also agree with you. Patricia's going to help him, and I'm sure he'll deliver a good dish for us. Before we do talk about anything else, Jesse Jackson, I just wanted to show you the record of the coach that we are bringing in at African Stars. Let me not say we, but that is coming in at African Stars. Just to look a bit at what he has done. Coached Bantu FC, head coach in 2023 until present, before he left. In 2022-2023, he won the Lesotho Premier League. In the same year, he won the People's Cup. He was also the coach of Leoli FC. In 2022, he won the 2022 Alliance Cup winner, of course, the Bantu head coach from 2019 to 2022. In 2019, in the 2019-2020 season, he again won the Lesotho Premier League and he won the Coach of the Season award in 2019-2020. I mean, African Stars did say they were looking at local coaches, but they wanted a coach who is going to be permanently focused on the club and making sure that the club progress and do well, not only do it part-time. So looking at the records that we see there, 2017 COSAFA Under-20 Cup finalist, 2019 again COSAFA Under-20 Cup finalist. What do you make of this coach?
Brian, I think it is a good record you see there in terms of the achievement of the coach. He has done quite well. One of the highlights in his career there is a person that has worked well with developing teams as youth, under-17s, the under-19s. So he's indeed one of those that has done well. So let's probably go for a short break and we'll be back with more.
Well, viewers, while we wait for the food to make its way here, just to let you guys know what events are happening over the weekend, some English Premier League football, some Bundesliga, Spanish La Liga, Serie A, please stay tuned. Have a look at the screens as we see. These are the games that are scheduled to take place on Saturday in the Bundesliga, with the main match being the match between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. Bayer Leverkusen, of course, is also a very big game in the Bundesliga. Those are just the games that we looked at in the Bundesliga. Moving on, these are the games that are taking place in the La Liga. Main match, I would say, Barcelona playing against Leganes and Real Madrid only play on Sunday. Getafe play Las Palmas and Real Sociedad take on Mallorca. Those are your games from La Liga. And then as we move on to our other games, you guys know that the Premier League and the Serie A do also have some interesting games for us to look at. They will be coming up shortly. And those games are most probably what I am mostly excited about. In the English Premier League, Newcastle take on Manchester City, Wolves take on Tottenham, Liverpool play West Ham, and Chelsea play Ipswich. Those are your games, I think, for Sunday. And there we see Manchester City play Crystal Palace, Brighton take on Leicester, Nottingham Forest play Everton. I think these are my favorite games for Saturday. Southampton take on Aston Villa, and Arsenal take on Brentford. Yes, viewers, so those are just a couple of the games that we are all going to be very excited about for this coming weekend. As for now, Jesse, I think it's time we get the food. I think it's time Patricia them bring that food, because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm tired of waiting, and I'm ready. You?
Yes, I'm also ready for the food. We can see. Here comes...
Please don't fall.
Here comes the food. Patty always makes small sandwiches.
Jesse, you whispering doesn't change the fact that people heard that you said Patricia always makes small sandwiches. But okay. Brother man, please tell us, what have you prepared for us? This looks divine.
I actually don't know the name, but with the name, it's a challenge for me. But I know she, but I know she put cheese, tomatoes,
some beef,
Russian,
some bacon,
and some bacon. Yeah, that's all I can say for now.
Onions as well. I like red onions, so I had to put it in there. And I like acha as well. I don't know if you guys eat acha, but I put acha on there. It's a mango acha, so.
Mango.
It's definitely a gourmet with everything that goes on. Jesse, please go for the first bite. Tauno, you too.
I don't know if you guys like sweet chili, but if you want to dip it
I think
in
you also
sweet
take a
chili.
first bite and just let us know what you think of the taste there. But while we wait for these guys to taste the food, how did you enjoy helping out Patricia prepare this wonderful meal for us?
Yeah, I mean, the whole concept of being in the kitchen is just, it's too much concentration for me. I just feel like, one moment you have to stack everything in there between, and then you have to put it in there, cut it down. I don't enjoy it very much.
But we made a great team. I mean, look at it. Our guests here on this side seem to enjoy it. So you can also taste all your hard work.
Where's the beef, Patricia?
It is there. Jesse, it is there.
Yeah.
You may taste all your hard work.
Tauno, how do you feel? Wow.
Is it the acha? No. The acha is a bit strong, but I like it that way. I don't know.
I would say, job well done. We redeemed ourselves from last weekend's food, and this is what In the Mix is all about. Just Patricia making sure that the boys are fed and we are having some good food on the show. These are the gourmet sandwiches that were made. A lot of stuffing, a lot of cheese, and a lot of stuff on them. I love them. Jesse's already done with his. That just shows you how good this is. But viewers, that's all the time that we do have for you guys on the show. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye.